4 men went into the Arctic. Only one came back alive. And it wasn't the one anyone expected. She wasn't a hunter. She wasn't an explorer. She didn't even know how to survive in the wild. She was a seamstress. And she was never supposed to make it out alive. But by the end of this story, she would be completely alone, trapped in the Arctic, surrounded by death. And somehow, she survived. Her name was Ada Blackjack. And this is one of the most disturbing survival stories ever recorded. In 1921, Ada was 23 years old, living in Alaska, poor, alone, desperate. Her life had already broken her once. Her father died when she was young. Her husband abused her. 2 of her children didn't survive. Now her last remaining son was dying of tuberculosis, and she couldn't afford treatment. So, when an opportunity came, she didn't see danger. She saw hope. A group of explorers needed someone to join an Arctic expedition. Not to hunt, not to explore, just to sew. They offered her money, enough to save her son. There was just one condition. She had to go with them to a remote island in the Arctic. For 2 years. They promised she wouldn't be alone. There would be Inuit families, hunters, people who knew how to survive. But when the ship was ready to leave, no one else showed up. Just Ada and 4 strangers. Something felt wrong. But she thought about her son, and she stepped onto the ship. Days later, they arrived at Wrangel Island, a frozen, isolated place, hundreds of miles from civilization. At first, it didn't seem that bad. The men were confident. They believed something dangerous. That the Arctic was easy. That they could live off the land. They were completely wrong. They brought only a few months of food. They made mistake after mistake, and slowly, the island started to change. Winter arrived, and with it, darkness. For weeks, for months, temperatures dropped far below 0. Escape became impossible. Ada wasn't built for this. The isolation started breaking her mind. She became paranoid, terrified. At one point, she even drank poison. But she didn't die. She came back, shaking, weak, broken. Then the men started to die. Scurvy. Starvation. 3 of them disappeared into the frozen ocean, looking for help. They were never seen again. Now, only 2 remained. Ada and 1 man too sick to move. When he finally stopped breathing, Ada was completely alone. No voices, no help, just silence and ice. But she didn't give up. She taught herself to use a rifle. She learned how to trap animals. She learned how to hunt. Day after day, she kept herself alive. After 2 years in the Arctic, a ship appeared on the horizon. Out of 5 people, only 1 survived. Ada Blackjack, the woman who was never supposed to make it. Newspapers called her a hero, the female Robinson Crusoe. But then people turned against her. They doubted her story. But no matter what they said, one fact remained. A woman with no training survived one of the harshest places on Earth, completely alone, and lived to tell the story.